Hey YouTube, Lawler here. We've got some RLCS predictions for you all today. If you guys are unfamiliar, top 16 for Europe in Open 1 for the Birmingham Major starts tomorrow. And I figured we'd do a little quick cheat sheet on who we think is going to take the whole thing. Now, as always, these are for fun. These are more so to talk about storylines, things to pay attention to, players we're looking out for, teams that I kind of in my gut feeling am a little bit biased towards. But I am well aware that I'm going to get all these wrong. Very, very likely that there is no chance of me predicting these correctly. So let's just have some fun with it. Let me know who you guys have as favorites down below. Who do you think is going to be in the grand finals? With that said, let's jump into these. As a reminder for the streams as well, for those that are watching this on Thursday, on Friday, there will be no official RLCS broadcast. There will be no twitch.tv/Rocket League. That is not a thing. All of these matches and all of these matches are going to be done by team streams. That is not just this weekend. That is every single event. The Friday of top 16 will not be on those channels. So team streams, K-Corp is probably going to be with Komodo. You're going to see Gentlemates probably doing something with Gotaga. You're going to see those types of things are going to be on the team streams. What we will see on the RLCS broadcast is Saturday and Sunday, which is your top 8. I will explain that again when we get there in the bracket. We have already done our predictions on stream, twitch.tv/Lawler. Come hang out with us, drop us a follow, hit up the socials down below as well. It's greatly appreciated. Also, make sure to hit subscribe while you're there. Helps me out immensely. But with these in mind, we are trying to provide more so storylines, conversations, things that we want to do. I'll also explain who's on what team and all that kind of stuff while we go through these. So, of course, you got K-Corp. K-Corp is one of the new super teams, as you guys know. Vatira, Atau, and now Drawley coming over from that BDS roster. Arguably one of the favorites. Many consider them top 2, and that is going to continue with my narrative as we push them all the way through into qualification. We have been saying this wrong, and hopefully we can say it right. People have basically said it's like selection, but instead of how we say it in America, it's sao at the end. So seleção is what I have been told is how you say it. Probably still butchering it. Expect every caster to say it wrong, and it's going to be super awkward. But unfortunately for them, I do think K-Corp is going to start a little bit slow, but it's still K-Corp, so they should win that. Synergy and 100%, I actually wasn't exactly sure how I want to play these. If you guys don't know Synergy, it is Tekos, AJG, and Dorito. I am a Tekos stan. I do really like Tekos. I think he's very, very good. But I haven't seen it quite there yet from the other two. This, to me, is for a lot of teams, kind of the prove it open qualifier, the prove it open, because I need to know what I'm going to get out of you when competition and pressure is on the line. But I do believe in Tekos more than I do believe in Lewis, Acro, and Rezi, even though I do think that team is underrated. And you'll see that later. We then have Gentlemates and Starpoint. Gentlemates, to me, is a top 4 team, albeit they did, in my opinion, underperform a little bit. At the end of the day, they found ways to win. That's all that matters. I do not see them losing to Starpoint. If you don't know Starpoint, that is a Chronic, Matane, and Eugen. Eugen, the new French player. He's got a season under his belt. Hopefully he can make some moves. After that, we've got Tanaka in Save the Game. Tanaka, former Oxygen team with Archie and Joyo. They have brought back Oli, former of Jobless. And then you've got Save the Game, which is Veterans Extraordinaire. You've got Astral Extra, no longer under the prison of BDS. And then they are pairing it with Matzer. If you guys don't remember Matzer actually played in the off-season tournament at Flip and Spin with Dignitas in France. Very talented player. To me, some of these matches are literally going to be, like for Save the Game later, like this is essentially Eugen versus Matzer. Who's going to do better? So, and that kind of explains my reasoning. Either way, I got Tanaka. To me, your top 4 is pretty straightforward in this group, is your top 4 no matter what. Going through, I think Mates is better than Tanaka, but Tanaka could potentially play upset. That's why I have it as a game 5. It could go the other way. And I do think K-Corp is the better team over Mates based upon what I've seen so far. So K-Corp's your 1, Mates is your 2. They will go in the upper bracket of the hybrid. Tanaka and Save the Game will go in the lower bracket of your hybrid. The reason why I have those two, I do think Tanaka is the 3rd best in this. And the reason why I'm picking Save the Game is I am choosing to believe in the extra masterclass. I think Astral, when he's allowed to cook in main event, he usually performs pretty well. And Matzer, out of all these new teams, Matzer does have LAN experience. He has shown a lot of potential. I got to talk and meet with him when I went to Flip and Spin with the Super Olay team. Good kid, a lot of good potential. Been working really, really hard from what I've heard in the offseason. I'm going to choose to believe in it. I think a young player surrounded by veteran talent that can steer him in the right direction will be interesting. But what happens if they face adversity? Will that fall apart? I don't know. I personally have saved the game winning over Starpoint because I do believe in Matzer more than Eugen at the current moment. As for Synergy, I do like Synergy a lot. I'm not convinced by their play yet. And I do think, even though these guys have been out of the game per se a little bit, I do think they can find a way to win. But when they go up against some top tier talent, I do think they will fall. So that's what I've got for our top 4 in Group A. In Group B, I think this one's pretty straightforward as well. I do think this one is a lot stronger than the other group. NIP is, as you guys know, my team to root for. I think that team has so much potential based upon the players that are on it. I can't wait to see them compete against some of these top dogs. They're going to take down Ascend. Ascend was the last seed coming in. That is Nico, Matt, and Gyuk. Very talented roster. Not enough experience yet. I think this is a really good learning lesson for them in this qualifier. Unfortunately for them, they are going to have to play Keep Up in Open 2, Open 3. But I do think this is a good learning experience, and the teams that they're playing are really good opportunities for them to kind of get their flaws exposed and then adjust and ascend the leaderboard. Sorry for the cringe. Vitality over Redemption. As much as I want to believe in Cash, Toxic, and Smokes, I've seen 1,000 iterations of that same 3 trio, and it's always the same result. So we're going with Vitality. I think Vitality is the team to beat currently. I think that is the best team in the world when they're playing their game. I know a lot of people are looking at them and saying, hey, they lost to Fast Forward, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, they found a way to win. They're top 4 seed. What are you going to do about it? Stormtroopers, I do think, is a team that can overtake Mates as a top 4 team going to the major. I'm going to continue to believe in them. We'll see how it goes. Again, it is interesting to see Yoris and Jack back on the same team. The first time we saw them on a team together, we got to see what is a masterclass rating at a major in Swiss, and then it fell apart, and then that quarterfinal curse began at that time. The big one to pay attention to, though, is Stizzy. I think Stizzy's a very talented player. He's very good. Can Violent Panda reel them in, show the performance? They went perfect in Swiss, perfect 9-0, didn't drop a single game. Obviously, strength of schedule plays a factor in that, but I do believe in this team. I think this team has a ton of potential. Rumors right now are that they are about to be signed by Dignitas. It looks like days are close. We'll see if that locks in before Friday when this video is coming out. Who knows? Actually, this video will come out Thursday. I lied. So we'll see. Yeah, Stormtroopers, I'm going to believe in them over Novo. Novo's the full Italian team. Cool to see a full Italian team. If you guys do not know Novo, but I think it's Hyder, Dead Monster, now goes by Dead, and then Mala. It's like Mala 8 or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's full Italian. And then we've got RRG over Caliente. Caliente is K-Dop and friends. K-Dop, Growly, and Sizen. Apparently, Sizen looked really, really good in qualifiers, which was dope to see. And then on the other side of RRG, Rizfox, Rizex, and Goths. I'm going to believe in the new kids on the block for now, but then they're going to have to face a lot of adversity. We then get to our upper semis. I do think Vitality currently is the better team, but I do think if this NIP team is as good as I think they can be, they could be world beaters and beat anybody. Curious to see. This is going to be my match to pay attention to. Mala 7, not 8. That was close. Stormtroopers over RRG. I think Stormtroopers is just the better team. I don't think there's a lot to say there. I think they're going to win convincingly on that one. But unfortunately, Stormtroopers against that Vitality team, while they are good, can they really go toe-to-toe against Zen and Monkey Moon? I haven't seen it out of those players in a while. I've seen them be competitive and put up a fight, but I don't know the last time the names of apparently Jack, Yoris, Stizzy, as individuals or otherwise, have had the chance to go and compete and beat teams of that caliber. I just haven't seen it, and I'm not going to choose to believe in it now. On the low side of the bracket, Redemption is the better team than the new kids on the block, but I do think this team could potentially play upset depending on how they're feeling. But I do think Redemption is the best out of these leftovers outside of the ones in that low side. So I have them beating RRG and Ascend. I think Toxic and Smokes are still pretty underrated. I think Smokes is a very talented player still, and Cash is no slouch. If he's vibing on that Dominus, watch out. On the other side, I do believe in the full Italians over Caliente and NIP. To me, like I said, even though they are dropping a loss to Vitality, they are the best team in this lower bracket, and it's going to show convincingly as they go 3-0 the rest. In my opinion, they might drop a game to Redemption, but I'm going to choose to believe confidently in them. So that is what I have for our teams, which then means we go to our top 8. Now, as a reminder, if you are in the upper bracket for this GSL bracket, what the GSL bracket means is that the high seeds are being awarded the lowest seed that they play in their next of competition. Same thing applies to what is Bushels, which is your strength of schedule with initial seeding that comes through. That's why the teams are listed the way they are. But these teams and these teams are going to be in the upper side of the bracket with an extra life. These teams, the bottom 4, are not. They are in the lower bracket fighting for their life, no extra lives whatsoever. This is the exact same format we saw at the World Championship in the final round. These matches, as I alluded to, are going to be the ones that are on the main stream. These matches will be Saturday. These matches will be Sunday. Okay? That'll be on twitch.tv/Rocket League every weekend. This is where you will see the production from Blast and the RLCS casters, so on and so forth. Out of the gates, we are going to probably start, I assume, with these. I would hope that they actually do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they do these as the last 2. That way, these teams get a bit of a break before going into this. The difficulty, though, is the teams that are losing coming in probably get an advantage. So my assumption is that they're going to do these 2, then these 2, and then alternate whichever team didn't play. So, like, if the schedule was to happen, this will be match 1 on Saturday, match 2 on Saturday, 3, 4, and then they'll alternate and do this as number 5. That would be my guess. If that's going to happen or not, we'll have to wait and see. So, if we do that in that order, I do have Tanaka as being the better team. This is, again, the former Oxygen team now with Oli. I do think Oli is underrated. I say that as his former coach, manager. Got to see him play and see his work ethic. He's been putting in the hours. And when Archie and Joyo are on, sure, we see what they can do. I mean, look at a World Championship run. I just think that team, talent-wise, as individuals, is definitely better than Redemption. NIP versus Save the Game. It sucks to be Save the Game on that, to be on the receiving end. NIP, I think, is going to really take it, and that lower bracket run could be something special. As for K-Corp over Stormtroopers, unfortunately for Stormtroopers, this is the quarterfinals, and until you prove that curse, I'm not going to believe it, and I don't think this is even a curse thing. I just think K-Corp's the better team. That is an unlucky grab for you guys. On the other side, Vitality Mates. I do think Vitality may start a little bit slow, but I do think that team, stylistically, playstyle-wise, does have Mates' number. Mates, sure, they want to play 50s, sure, they want to play challenges and stuff, but that was old Mates. New Mates, to me, doesn't have the flash or the midfield presence that the old Mates did. And against a team like Vitality, I don't know how you stop midfield with Monkey Moon and Exotic as your 1-2, with Zen supporting you in the back. I think on paper that team has every reason to be the best in the world. That's just my feeling. We drop down then and alternate. It'd be Stormtroopers and Tanaka. And I actually believe, based upon work ethic, based upon time put into the game and how everything is going, Stormtroopers should take Tanaka. They should. Which is a big deal. Top 4 and what it does for points is massive. What I can say is all of these teams, whoever makes top 8, gets an automatic buy into the top 32 Swiss stage. They do not go through the double elimination format in Qualifier 2 or Open 2. So, pretty important there. But Stormtroopers, again, Stizzy, Yoris, Apjack versus Archie, Joyo, and Oli. I'm going to choose to believe in Stormtroopers on that one. On the other side, this could go either way. I think this is going to be the match of the day because I think it determines a lot of the results when it comes to the actual who goes to the major conversation. But I'm going to believe in the team I think is better. I personally believe Itachi got the better end of the deal. I think they're going to be supported well by NIP. Obviously, Mates is massive, but he's got Oski, who I think is a top 5 offensive player in EU. I think he's absolutely incredible. And I think, obviously, NASA's no slouch. Again, got to see him work in person, behind the scenes, his mentality, the way that he approaches. My only concern, and for those that don't know, Snasky is their coach. My only concern, Nas needs to stay grounded. He needs to not play hero ball. He needs to not be the person who thinks he has to do everything. I hope he understands he's got two very talented veteran players around him. Stick to your rotation, communicate efficiently, you'll be just fine. I want to choose to believe in that. I think NASA is going to be the new Drawley. I think he will be Rookie of the Year, even though he's technically not a rookie. But I think NASA is going to have a breakout year. It's between him and Stizzy right now. Who's going to perform better? Those are the two players in EU I'm paying attention to the most, outside of the newcomers like Gyuk and Matzer and stuff like that. But I'm going to believe in NIP. Unfortunately, for K Corp, I'm going to choose to believe in the ability for that momentum. I'm going to choose the lower bracket momentum. Ninjas in Pajamas is going to be feeling good, while K Corp tends to have a little bit of a slow start. Sure, top 4 isn't that slow, but I'm going to, for my own narrative, and this is where I think I'm going to get probably wrong, in my own narrative, I'm going to believe in NIP. I'm going to choose to believe in it. Whether it's wrong or not, we'll find out. On the other side, Vitality, again, unfortunately for Stormtroopers, I just don't think they have proven to me that they can beat those top tier teams yet. If this was a Mates, if this was a K Corp, if this was a Vitality, I don't see Stormtroopers beating them. So this happens to be a advantageous bracket. I think if you put Mates here, then Mates moves on, NIP moves on, and our top 4 is top 4. Just like I had in my power rankings. But Vitality is going to beat Troopers. I'm going to choose to believe in NIP. But I think when it all comes down to it, Vitality is your best team in the world, not just EU right now. That is my belief. That is what I feel. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. I want it to be a Game 7 banger. I want to see the full potential of both these teams out of the gate swinging, which also probably will not happen. But that is what I have for my predictions for Open 1. And you can come to expect these each and every week. I'm going to be doing these every Thursday on YouTube, probably every Wednesday on stream, so I can edit them and get them out for the next day. So if you guys want to make sure you're a part of these and you can provide your feedback and your opinion, let me know in the comments down below. Stop at the stream, twitch.tv/Lawler. But expectation, next week, we're going to have, again, predictions, but it's going to be for NA. And we'll keep alternating back and forth when we can. Either way, that's going to do it for today's video. Like, subscribe, notifications. You guys know how it goes. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.